some things!
All right, Something's Podcast listeners, welcome to episode 24. We're going to be talking about some face injuries, more movie reviews, and also scandal in the MLB. Ooh. All right. So, with me today is my host.
It's gotta be Luke.
Gotta be Luke. And not John. Once again, he is not here, but he's busy. I think he had, what did he was doing premaritals today.
Premarital counseling.
Yeah, just like saying
pre-martial.
Pre-martial arts.
Pre-martial arts.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, oh gosh, so you guys listening right now, this is what? It's been almost 3 weeks or full 3 weeks, or has it been 2 weeks that we haven't done an episode yet?
2 weeks. Last one we did was the Star Wars episode.
Right, and that was...
And then we didn't do an episode the week after, and then the week after that we didn't do an episode.
Right, yeah, man, it's been a while, so we should have... It's still entertaining, topics to talk about, but it's been a while, man. I feel like I don't know, there might be some like old podcast rust I gotta shake off, just try to make sure I'm in the zone the whole time. But, we'll see what happens with this episode.
You look like you're in the zone, but unfortunately, looks don't count for anything on a podcast.
Yeah, looks are very deceiving, especially on a podcast.
Because if that were the case, we would be super popular.
Super duper popular.
Dylan is so handsome.
No, I'm not. I got to shave, man. My beard's getting out of control.
Actually, you know what you need to do?
What?
You need to get a buzz cut.
At some point we will, but...
Yeah, speaking of that, John, he's not with us today, but today we're recording on February 1st. John is now starting his fast from fast foods.
The fast food fast.
Yeah. So for this entire month of February, he's going without fast food.
We should do like a graphic design thing of like how the Fast and Furious franchises, like all the different Fs or whatever, like FFF, fast food fast. Like just like make it all like speedy and metallic looking.
Yeah, so John's going to be the first one of us to do his challenge.
Yep.
You just got to buzz your hair. So you could you could be done before he is.
I really could be, and I honestly I think I wanted to try to do it at some point last week, but then I know we discussed it off microphone about wanting to post it when we do the head shaving video. So we should have fun with that. Stay tuned. Hopefully that'll be up. You said you want to put it on the Instas?
Yeah, I'll probably make an Instagram story out of it.
Yeah,
when I do mine, being handcuffed to Peter,
we'll
probably have a relatively long Instagram story chronicling the day.
Look, honestly, I wouldn't mind being with you guys. Depending on what you do, like I don't know where you're going, but I could get like another perspective on just like how weird this looks in public. Like just get reactions of people looking at you like, what the frick are they doing?
I just need to find 12 spare hours in my day.
I wonder, people are probably going to think you're protesting something, like just because like handcuffs, you usually think that comes in with like some kind of again protest or some kind of freedom of speech act that you're trying to do in public, and it's just like, are you guys married to each other? Or are you like what are they trying to get at here?
Yeah, we're brothers.
Yeah. Oh. Gosh, we want this to be legal. Man. So yeah, Luke, like we discussed, it's been 2 weeks since we recorded an episode. So what have you been up to in these past 2 weeks here?
I started school. I've been going to school for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I started the day after the Star Wars episode.
Oh man,
so 23 units I'm taking this semester.
Dang.
Yeah,
that's almost as many years as I've been alive.
That's as many years as I've been alive.
Oh my gosh.
Fun fact, my birthday is Thursday.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I should have had happy birthday music queued up.
That's true. We should. Here, happy birthday to. You want me to go get the Marilyn Monroe wig and I can get the dress on and everything?
No, it's okay.
I just got to stand over a fan or event of some kind.
I'll give you a real nice birthday.
We're
not making an Instagram story of that one.
Sure we can.
No.
Luke doesn't want the memories, or the nightmares, I should say. All right, sorry. Continue.
Other than that, though, I talked about it on the last episode. I finished my longboard.
Oh, nice.
I finished it. And it's good. It's one of the best longboards I've ever made.
That is true, guys.
Except...
Oh, no.
The cutouts for the trucks came out a little bit too wide.
Yeah.
So the screws are barely in there. This thing for sure. One day I'm going to be riding and the wheels are going to fall off.
Oh, gosh. And we hopefully will have either Peter handcuffed to him or somebody recording at the time. No.
You think I'm going to ride a longboard with Peter handcuffed to me?
Why not?
I'm not going to do that. You know what I did do, though?
What if he rode one next to you?
You know what I did do, though?
What's that?
I brought my upright bass home from school.
Okay.
And I had my longboard with me.
Mm.
So from the music building to the parking structure, I've got this big upright bass with the wheels on it.
Oh, jeez.
And I rode the longboard while guiding the bass. Some people looked at me, they're like, That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Man, that's not even right, because I know anytime I was in school, I mean, granted this is college or wherever, man, like I remember I get picked on so much for having a rolling backpack in a junior high, and it's just like, it's so convenient though, my back doesn't hurt. Like, but people like every time they'd go out of their way to just kick the backpack as I was pulling it. I'm like, you guys suck,
monsters,
terrible people, man.
Freaking middle schoolers, man.
I'm glad I was never a kid. I hate kids. I don't hate them that much. All right, but yeah. So, was there any other highlights? I know you like you said, your longboard's got a little bit of not wear and tear, but a little bit.
There's a safety issue for sure.
Could you say there were some screw ups?
Yeah. Having said that, it does ride very nicely, and it looks very nice too. I'll have to show you after this.
Yeah. Well, you did show me. You showed me the board and everything, but I don't think you showed me with the grip tape finish on yet. So maybe I didn't
show you after it got stained.
No? Oh, you showed me and Thomas, wasn't it, the other day? You showed us what it looked like?
Did I show you the picture?
Yeah, you brought us out you brought us out in the garage. We looked at it.
Oh, yeah, you were here.
Yeah, because I was going to talk about how good it smelled.
You're right, yeah.
One of the weird things, but just like, as you grow older as a man,
Dylan likes the smell of wood stain.
It's like, as I grow older, I used to, hate the smell of Home Depot going there with my dad, but like now I'm like, oh, these smells, I feel like a man. Like, I don't know what it is.
Dylan, I just realized something.
Oh, no.
I have your podcast chair.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's right. Because I had to do the tech in the last episode. Or did I? No. Why is it over there? I don't know.
Was I in this the last episode?
Were you?
Guys, Dylan has this like swivelly wheelie chair.
Yes,
it's the nicest chair in the studio. He always uses
by far.
And somehow I ended up with it this week.
You know what's weird too is I sat down in this white folding chair and I didn't even think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, this is fine, and just went straight into the episode.
I normally sit on a stool. Like a wooden stool.
Hey, that one swivels too, though. There's just no arms on it.
There's no arms. There's no padding. There's no backrest.
No back. Oh gosh. Well, hey, you get spoiled this episode. You're in school, so I'll let you have it. Yay. But yeah. So, man.
What about you, buddy?
Oh yeah. So okay. I know a couple weeks. Well, yeah. I'm trying to pinpoint what all happened. So, going furthest back, me and my friends, one of our friends, shout out to Layla Othman. She was downtown, or down here in town, from college and everything. She had her winter break, and we actually got together and did an escape room. And so it was, her, me, Sarah, a few other people. We went there and we killed it, man. It was actually the same location that we went to for Peter's bachelor party.
With the globes.
Different. It was a different theme, so it wasn't.
Why were there so many globes when we went?
I don't know, man. Like, because we did, our theme was like Rumpelstiltskin or something, right? Like
Rumpelstiltskin.
It was like a fairy tale escape kind of thing.
And the planet Earth was everywhere.
Yeah, with ours, the theme was we're going to a candy shop that's actually a front for a, what do they call those things? Like a prohibition bar. Speakeasy. Speakeasy, that's what it was.
Hansel and Gretel.
No, you're confusing the two.
Is that not the hidden meaning behind that story?
I wonder if they did maybe get like a little bit of inspiration. Oh, we just did a fairy tale one and candy. Oh, they did have a little brain train like that. But yeah, so it was a candy store front that became a speakeasy, and so you had to escape before I don't know, the cops came to arrest you or whatever. But yeah, we killed it, dude. We had like, I think, almost 24 minutes to spare, or at least 23 minutes on the clock. And for escape rooms, if you don't know, they give you an hour to get out of the box and wherever else. We had 2 rooms to escape in, and man, we just blew through that thing. We killed it. So and it was awesome. Everyone had like their own little moments of like, oh my gosh, I just solved this puzzle, or oh my gosh, I got this combination. So everyone participated. It was a very amazing event.
Good job, guys.
Woohoo! Yes, shout out to everyone who was there. But yeah, so that was going far, far back. But then this last week that we not missed for the podcast, but and I'm just like I said, podcast rust. Man, I don't know how to start this. Recently, me and Sarah celebrated our 3rd anniversary.
Sarah and I.
There it is. Freaking knew it. Whatever. All right, but yeah, so. Sarah and I celebrated our 3rd anniversary.
Good for you guys, and good for you.
Yes. So let's see, Sunday.
Did you say 3 years?
3 years.
Oh my goodness.
I know, man. 2020 is our 3rd year because we got married in
2017, apparently.
Yeah.
No.
So
yeah.
Wait, we did get married.
Yes.
So 2 year? Maybe okay. I think it's 2 year then. No, wait.
No, because 18 would be your first, 19 your second, 20 your third.
Okay, yeah. So why did I know what? Okay, so I was right in 3rd year. Why am I second guessing myself? It's like one of those things where it's like we stumbled so much. I'm just like, wait, did I get that right? Did I say something wrong? All right. Anyway, so we celebrated our third anniversary, and so we had a whole like schedule of things lined up. So Sunday, and I'll go into detail for each event, obviously, as you know, but let me just lay out the scheme here. So Sunday, we wanted to go to the Pirates Bay Dinner Adventure in Buena Park. Monday, we were going to Knott's. Tuesday, we were going to SeaWorld, and then Wednesday, we were coming back home because. Reasons. But it was just like the end of our trip pretty much. But so what we did is we ended up getting a hotel stay at the Knott's Berry Farm Hotel Sunday night after Buena Park. And then we also...
What's that like? Is Snoopy in there?
We actually did. We
I knew it.
We paid to have a little plush Snoopy, and you actually could have, if you wanted to upgrade your room, because we did get a nice king size bed, dude. Oh, it was so soft and just comfortable. You could actually upgrade your room to be like Snoopy themed design. So like the headboard would look like the dog house that he has, and like him actually on top of it. It looked pretty cute, but I'm like, I could probably save the money. But we did actually, we got a little Snoopy plush. So it was like, a few extra bucks or whatever. But I'm like, hey, it's our anniversary, let's splurge. But yeah, so we started out the night, like I said, we drove into Buena Park, and we were going to the 6 o'clock show of the Pirates Bay Adventure. And so what they said on the flyer or on your ticket, show up an hour and a half early because we're actually going to give you guys hors d'oeuvres or like, appetizers before the show starts. So we show up there, and like all places, shows, whether you're seeing a concert or, performance of some kind, whatever it may be, they want to start late for some reason. And so we probably didn't get in the doors till maybe about like, our show was at 6. We got there right at 4:30. There was a little bit of a line, and again, we probably don't open the doors till about 5 o'clock. We get in, scan our tickets, whatever, and then as me and Sarah were standing around like this kind of open bar area, they're not really the people who have appetizer trays. They're walking around to everyone else who's like just right by the door. And so we're kind of, since we weren't like necessarily first in line, we're still kind of in the back of the bar area. And they're just like, again, they're serving everyone else. We're just like, hey, we're over here too. So finally Sarah's like, you know what, we're taking the initiative. And so she goes over, grabs a couple seats on the little booth along the wall. And so we sit down there for a bit, got a couple appetizers. And they were okay. It was like this really dry bread with like one of those little smoky wieners on top of it. It was like, this is an appetizer, but I'm like, okay.
Pigs on top of a blanket.
Yeah, pretty much. So it was like this weird thing. I'm just like, okay, that's not the worst, but whatever. And so we start walking around a bit. And we actually got this thing called an anniversary package, right? So it was like an extra $50. And so we get like this little, quote scroll that has like, oh, congratulations to Sarah and Dylan, on your 3-year anniversary and everything. And so it has it dated, the time you came to the performance and everything. So that was really nice. We actually got 2 souvenir cups with free drinks, which, oh gosh, if you ever go to Pirates Bay Adventure, I recommend the Blue Pirate, the drink anyway. That was very delicious. But yeah, so I think she got a Purple Pirate, which was actually the pirate we were rooting for. And so, we got a couple flags to root for our pirate team.
You said it was the Pirates Medieval Adventure?
Yep, totally. That's the one. Where
Sponsor us.
The pirates joust on dragons. That's But yeah, so we go down there, and like I said, we did get assigned to the Purple Pirate. But what kind of bummed me out is part of the anniversary package, you were supposed to get your anniversary announced during the show. Like they were going to give you a shout out before the thing starts. Like, oh, hey, congratulations to so-and-so and this couple and that couple.
Yeah.
They went through like 4 or 5 other people and then went to the birthdays, and I'm like,
those monsters.
I'm like, did they forget? Like, what's going on? Are they going to do it at the end? And nope, they carried on with the show, and I was like, well, that kind of sucked. Like, and Sarah even saw me sitting there. She's like, doesn't have to ruin the whole night. I'm just like, yeah, but I paid for that. Like, so it kind of ruins a little bit. Like, so I was a little bummed out about that, but we did speak to a manager. I had to pull a Karen, and we ended up getting our money back for that. And I was just like, I was like, that kind of sucked. I was looking forward to that. But yeah, so we still had a fun time. The show was great. We got a picture with the Purple Pirate afterwards. So then we went back to the hotel, like I said, and for the first time in my life, or at least as far as I can recall, I ordered room service.
Ooh,
dude, let me tell you, I had this like chicken quesadilla that they brought in from one of the downstairs restaurants, and also a giant hot fudge sundae. And it said on the menu like 4-2, so I figured, okay, me and Sarah will split that because I was still kind of hungry after the show or whatever. Because again, the portions of like the meal aren't like huge. I mean, it's a decent enough plate, but yeah, I was still, like I said, starving because we had actually walked down there from the hotel since it was just down the street. And so, like I said, I got the quesadilla, got the hot fudge sundae, and holy mackerel, dude, they bring in the sundae they weren't joking. This thing is a monster. Like, it's probably as big as your head with like the ice cream piling up, the hot fudge all around it and everything.
Make me hungry.
Dude, so freaking good. And like I said, this is the first time I can recall ordering room service. So I was just like super stoked. I was like, yes, I don't have to go down and get the food. It came to me. Like, but yeah, so and then that was the end of that night. And then Monday morning, as we were going to Knott's, we actually did include in our little reservation with the hotel, we got a breakfast buffet the next day at the same restaurant downstairs.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my gosh. They had French toast, all kinds of eggs, all kinds of bacon. They had even just little cereal stuff that you wanted to distribute, get a little bowl, whatever kind of juice you wanted. So all types of good stuff. And then, dude, the thing that was really stalled the show for me was their biscuits and gravy. And you can imagine, because the Knott's family restaurant started out with like chicken and like gravy and kind of like that almost like down south kind of comfort food, because they would want to feed their workers as they were obviously on the farm after a hard day and everything. So they know how to do biscuits and gravy, and oh my gosh, they did not disappoint, man.
I heard you're a big fan of biscuits and gravy.
Big biscuits and gravy fan.
What's your favorite gravy?
I think if I'm I guess depending on what it's going to be on. Obviously, I know with biscuits you want like a sausage type gravy, but I do prefer probably turkey on most things, like mashed potatoes or whatever else. So I do lean towards turkey. But whatever they put in their recipe, good job, Knott's Berry Farm. That was delicious.
I have not yet found any gravy better than KFC.
Oh, gosh.
I'm a simple guy.
Yeah.
And I love that gravy on anything.
Yeah, no, it's not
literally
bad. Like, I'm not a picky eater, and that's not a bad gravy. But, yeah, whatever they did at Knott's Berry Farm, dude, amazing.
Yeah, I would dip my broccoli in gravy. I would dip an apple in that gravy.
Just that way
I would
slide down your gullet faster.
No, so it'll...
Well, I mean, the
entice
vegetables.
my tongue.
I mean, the vegetables themselves. That way,
I like broccoli.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What? But you don't. No, that's right. You don't like mashed potatoes. That's the vegetable you don't like. All right. Okay. Yeah. So that was Monday morning, and everything was starting off great, right? Again, we had the little hiccup at the Pirates Bay Adventure. Going into Monday, we're like, okay. Last minute, Sarah reminded me that that Monday was actually Martin Luther King Day. And so, we're like, oh, crud, it's a holiday. The park's going to be a little packed. And we're like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, people just got done with their spring break. They maybe already did their whole, we're going to go to this.
Spring break.
Sorry, winter break. They just got done with their vacations and everything. They probably already did their, let's go to this amusement park type day sort of thing that families usually work out. No, I was completely wrong. Apparently never go to Knott's Berry Farm on Martin Luther King Day, dude. Yeah. Like, we got one ride, and it was like a 5-minute wait because we got there right when it opened. Like I said, being at the hotel, we were right next door.
Yeah.
But, like, holy crap, dude. Even the backup thrill rides, because obviously, like, you Ghost Rider, it's like, done deal on a busy day. It's like, that's going to be a 2-3 hour wait.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, we're not doing that. We have passes. We can come back. But, dude, everything else in the park, like, they literally had to put up posts and rope because the lines were getting so extended. And I'm talking, again, on, like I said, the backup thrill rides, not even the main ones that they have there, like Accelerator, Ghost Rider, Silver Bullet, all that stuff. No, they were just swamped. And I was like, this is freaking ridiculous. And it was just... So it was getting kind of busy and backed up there. And then we went on another ride that was kind of small line wait time or whatever. And it just, I have to take Dramamine going to a park because I get dizzy real easy. And so after doing this ride, it just like, all it does is basically like spins you around really fast. So I mean, just imagine a flat circle spinning really, really fast.
Yeah.
But then it starts turning kind of slanted. So where you're angled kind of upward and then you angle downward and it just kind of rotates like that the whole way and just spinning at however fast the, miles per hour it's going. That wrecked me. And I was just like, I got a headache the rest of the day. And I'm like, okay, maybe we should, since the park's busy anyway, we got passes, we can come back. Maybe we should just go down to San Diego because that's where we were staying in an Airbnb for the second half of our trip. And so we head down there. And again, this is while I'm dealing with a headache. Sarah was driving. We get to our Airbnb and we're trying to figure out where to park because apparently the street that's right in front of the place we were staying at has construction on it. And so unless you were going to move your car at 8 o'clock in the morning, which I don't like to do on vacation, I don't like to get up early, you were going to get a ticket and you couldn't even park there until after 4 o'clock. So I'm just like, this isn't worth it. So we go down the street a little bit, go to the Airbnb, unload our luggage, and we're sitting there and we're trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do for dinner? So we saw that there's a Pizza Hut nearby. And we're like, okay, let's go grab some dinner. So Sarah gets a pasta, I get my pizza. And, we took the car to obviously go pick it up. And sure enough, like I said, with all the construction going on, our spot was gone when we came back. And so we had to circle around like 2 or 3 blocks to try to figure out where we were going to park finally. We got a spot and we had to walk downhill and then back uphill to get to our Airbnb because things were just getting so, not getting so busy, but just because there wasn't really any spots. And so by the time we got to the Airbnb, my pizza's cold. Her pasta's kind of like okay because it's in a tinfoil thing. But I'm just like,
yeah.
And the sad part, I can't believe we didn't even think about this. The Airbnb did not have a microwave, so we couldn't even reheat the food. Really,
it didn't have a microwave.
Didn't have a microwave.
What?
Yeah, I know that amazes me too. And so it was just like, yeah. So we got to sit there, kind of eat a semi-cold dinner, and then I was just like, I was so frustrated because the other part of me, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, I don't know the area. I don't know if anything's gonna happen to my car, if I'm gonna get towed, a ticket, whatever. Like, because we did find obviously a white curb to make sure that okay, we're looking around, no signs. But I'm just like, I don't know the area. But thankfully, like that was probably the worst day. But then Tuesday, SeaWorld was amazing. We got to see all the shows. We got to see the sea lion and otter show. We got to see the dolphins perform. We got to see, they don't call it the Shamu show anymore, but like the Orcas Live, whatever the heck. Orca Encounter. There we go. Those were all really amazing shows. I also got we got to do like those little touch things where like they have the tide pools. I got to touch this really, really weird looking crab. It almost looked like it had coral kind of growing on its back. Like it just looked all bumpy and
like Davy
pokey.
Jones.
Yeah, basically. It was real creepy looking. And I asked her like, oh, do you want to touch it? And she's like, no, I ain't touching that thing. But so I reached in the pool, got it. And it's just like, oh, like scuttered away, scuttled, whatever.
Ran.
Yeah. I just like using,
crab walked
away. There we go. I like using fun words. But yeah, so that was really cool.
You to use such words.
And then we also got to touch. We had sharks in the also the touch tanks and everything. Those were cool. You got to touch the little stingrays as they were going by, or the manta rays, whatever the heck they were in that tide pool. So there was a lot of touching involved at this place, but it was all fun. And then if anyone else, just a heads up, if anyone else is going to SeaWorld, I recommend you getting the all-day dining pass through Groupon. It's $20 extra. Every 60 minutes, you can get an entree from like 5 or 6 different locations throughout the park, and they serve hefty portions of food. Like you can literally, there was a rib sampler platter we got at one of the places, and that was comped on the ticket.
Yeah. And
so if you go, even if you just get 2 or 3 meals, you've more than paid for the $20 back that you added on extra to the ticket for the single day admission.
Yeah.
Like it was so good. So. Yeah, we stuffed our faces all day walking around the park, and it worked. It was really delicious. So again, just heads up, you can split it between 2 people. Like that's how big these meals are.
Did you do the rides?
We did one of the rides. It was like I think it was like the eel ride or something. And then we also did
electric eel.
Yeah. It was like a roller coaster that just kind of goes up in a loop or whatever, but it spins around while it's doing it. I think we did that one, and then also the manta. We did that one as well. Because we both kind of walked into the park and we're like, okay, so what do you want to do? And so we determined that we did want to see the orca show. We did want to see the sea lions and otters. The dolphins were kind of on the back burner, but we did, like I said, we did see those.
Yeah.
And then the rides were kind of like last on the list because we wanted to we would rather encounter or see the animals, see the penguins, everything else before just okay, well we got time to kill, let's go do the rides now. But yeah, it was, and unlike Knott's Berry Farm, going during the winter to SeaWorld, empty, dude.
Yeah.
It was just completely awesome. Like no wait times on any of the rides. Or
even in the summer, it's not that bad.
Yeah. So like the shows themselves, it's like we show up and it's just like we had the best seating that we wanted. If you wanted to go in the splash zone, if you didn't want to go in the splash zone, like you were good. But yeah, so SeaWorld, like I said, was like the highlight of the trip. Really amazing. I definitely want to go back there again. And then
Atlantis is one of my favorite rides ever.
Yeah. Sadly, we didn't go on that one.
Yeah.
But all right, next time we'll just all go. We'll make a thing of it. But yeah, and then lastly, so we were heading back Wednesday, and we're getting packed up. We're all ready to leave, and I even asked Sarah, and again, I just a heads up, like just so everyone knows, I love my wife. Like this is all just in fun and jest kind of stuff. So don't crucify me on any kind of social media for this. But yeah, so I asked her, I'm like, okay, so it's Wednesday. We had to be out of the Airbnb by 11 o'clock. I'm like, okay, do you want to go anywhere? Do you want to do anything? She's like, no, I think we're good to just kind of head home. Head back, whatever. I'm like, okay. So we get our luggage. We head back to the car, which again we had to park down the street because, like I said, construction and everything. So we get back there. And she's like, oh, hey, do you want to, literally as I stick the key in the ignition to turn the car on, she's like, oh, hey, do you want to go grab breakfast in Old Town San Diego? And I'm just like, like, cause in my head, I'm just like, okay, we're gonna get home as soon as possible, like, and we can just like, go do stuff there and like kind of hang out, chill for the day, and just relax. And like in my head, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm already set my mind on. And then it's just like, okay, we're on a trip. We'll go to Old Town. No big deal. So we drive down there, and we weren't too far away from the Airbnb. The Airbnb wasn't that far from Old Town. So we drive on the freeway, get there. And then, I parked the car in one of the little, paid parking spots or whatever. And, as I'm sitting there, I'm about to insert my card to get a little timestamp to say like, oh, you have this much time before you get like a ticket or towed, whatever. I insert my card and I'm like, okay, or literally as I do that, she comes up on the other side of me and she's like, look, if you don't want to be here, we don't have to. And I'm just like, well, it's too late now. I already paid for the ticket. And so we just like, I get the ticket on the dash and we start walking around and I'm like, okay, so what breakfast places are nearby? And she's like, okay, there's one up the road here. And so we go to that location. I forget what the restaurant was called. But so yeah, we sit in the restaurant and, we get seated. And I'm sitting there. We get as we're looking at the menu, I noticed like, oh hey, they got like 3 or 4 different types of biscuits and gravy. Like you can pair it with this food, you can pair it with this, whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a biscuits and gravy thing because it's a little mom and pop shop. I know the food's gonna be good. And so the waitress comes by and she's like asking us, oh, what do you want? I think Sarah ordered a stack of pancakes, and then I'm just like, oh, I want to get this biscuits and gravy combo. She looks at me and she's like, oh, we actually don't have biscuits and gravy right now. And I'm just like,
fired.
Okay, like I'm gonna need another minute then. So she leaves, comes back, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, oh man, I really wanted that. So she comes back a little while later, and I'm just like, okay, I'll have the omelet, the bacon and cheese omelet, but can I get pepper jack cheese? She's like, we don't have pepper jack cheese. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like. Okay, I'll still take the omelet. That's fine. Like, so
we don't have omelets.
Yeah, like that's what I was expecting at this point. And so she leaves. She comes back and then she asked me like, oh, she comes back with our food. So Sarah gets her pancakes. I get my omelet. She's like, oh, did you need any hot sauce or anything? And I was like, yeah. Can I actually get some Tabasco?
No way.
We don't have Tabasco. I'm just like, oh my god, like Tabasco is the one hot sauce that like hands down I think goes best on eggs. And I'm just like, okay, like at that point, I was just like, what do you guys have here? Because apparently everything I ordered is just off the menu. Like, I just like, oh my gosh, man. I was so just, and what was sad about it is, I know it's not Sarah's fault, but I could, I talked to her later and she's like, yeah, I was feeling just so like, not frustrated, but just like scared because it's like, he already didn't want to go to breakfast. Now they don't have anything he wants. Just like, she was in her head, just like, oh my gosh, that's a bad idea. I'm just like, it's not your fault. You didn't know, but yeah. Yeah. So again, we finished breakfast there. We tried walking around Old Town because I know they have like little, knick-knacky shops and stuff, but it looked like most of the stuff was closed. So I don't know, maybe just because it was a middle of the week Wednesday, they probably weren't going to open that early. But so we're just like, all right, now we can just head home. So we did that, rested, and now we're here. So I got my week off from work, which is real nice. But yeah, so I think that was all the highlights of my 2 weeks off here. So yeah, that was that. I know, sorry listeners if it was a long drawn out vacation, but hopefully you enjoyed those stories. Yeah. Anyway, that was the one thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm backtracking even more now because I'm going back to the escape room. We went to dinner afterwards, and okay, we're sitting there joking around, doing like Mad Libs, having fun with each other, and it's just completely random because that's never happened to me before. Some lady comes up to me as I have food in my mouth, taps me on the shoulder, and says, and this is like an older lady, probably like 40 years old plus. And she's like, it's really nice to see a group of young people having fun without having to cuss all the time. And we're just like, thank you. Like me, I have a mouthful of food. I'm like, thank you. Like, they're just like, okay. Like it just so
dude. What? That did not sound like thank you.
Oh no. I didn't say, I promise I said thank you. I'm not saying
that's so funny because she comes up to you like, I'm so glad you guys aren't cussing.
I promise I wasn't trying to say anything bad.
I can't wait to listen to this later because it was so muffled in all the wrong ways.
The listeners, I promise I was trying to say thank you.
He said thank you.
I was trying.
Take
anyway.
our word for it.
Oh gosh, that was the funny part too. Is I was even joking around with everyone else, like, oh yeah, what if I just replied to her? I was like, oh yeah, no beep, like just start cussing back as I said thank you to her. But oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. My face, my mouth right now is just, I'm laughing too hard, but Oh gosh, I just need to stop. My face just needs to shut down for a bit. It just needs to go off for a while. I don't know.
Just like smacking on something.
Yeah, I gotta do something.
Oh my goodness, dude! I'm the expert at smashing faces.
Do you get into a lot of bar fights? What does that mean?
No, nobody smashes their face better than I do.
So not smash mouth, smash face.
Smash face.
All right, so explain yourself.
Well, okay, so I talked about my longboard.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wrecked my face this week.
Oh gosh.
I was riding on campus trying to make a sharp turn, and freaking all it takes is one pebble to ruin the path of a longboard.
Yep.
So I go tumbling. And luckily for me, I'm good at falling. So I managed to get out of this without a scratch, but it flung my Bible and my pens out of my bag. And it was embarrassing. But I managed to save myself there.
Right.
Other times I have not been so lucky. We used to do this thing at our church youth winter camp.
Okay.
We would do something called mattress surfing.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah. Have I said it on this podcast?
No, I just
it
remember
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is episode 24, and it doesn't matter because you guys have forgotten by now. So anyway,
open your ear holes. You're about to get inserted with Luke's words.
Okay. Okay.
You can cut it out. You can cut that out in post.
I'm leaving it in.
Mattress surfing.
I'm leaving it in. So mattress surfing. So what you do is you create a mountain of mattresses. You just stack them up, and then you make a big stack of 4 mattresses or so.
Right.
And they're just the cot mattresses.
Yeah, they're
from
thin
the
mattresses,
cabin.
and they have plastic coating around them.
Yeah,
so
cabin
it's a slick
mattresses.
surface. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get 4 of them, then you do 3 of them in the next stack, then 2 of them, and then 1 of them. And what you do is you jump and you grab the top mattress from the first one. You just slide all the way down the little mattress mountain.
Okay.
That was fun. We wanted to go even higher, though. And they wanted to go higher and higher, so we started sacrificing the decline.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. So we would take mattresses away from the decline. By the time it got to me, they're like, let's just put all of them on the first stack.
Oh, gosh.
Can you see how bad of an idea this was? I don't remember if I knew they did that or...
Just you were caught up in the moment.
Yeah, I have no idea why I did this. But anyway, so they stack it up. It's
oh gosh,
6 mattresses high, 6 or 7, with absolutely nothing on the other side. So I get a running start. I dive, grab the top mattress. What do you think's going to happen? I go on the floor, the mattress hits and stops. My face scrapes and slides across the floor, and I do what I can only describe as a scorpion gesture as my front feet come and
touch the back of your head,
touch the back of my head, and I somersault flopping over my face. And oh my goodness, it was the worst rug burn I've ever gotten, and it was on my face. And I had to go to school the next day with scabs all down the middle of my face.
Dude, that sounds like a nightmare. I do remember there was one time when I was a kid, I went over to my friend's house. I want to say his name was Brandon. And so...
Freaking Brandon.
It's going to be freaking Brandon after this story. So we go over to his house, and I don't know why. Okay, do you remember those old Velcro tennis ball catch games that you would get as a kid? It's like you would...
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have a little strap on the back of the pad.
Where are those now, by the way? It's out of style.
Yeah, it's you usually find them, I don't know, a cheap novelty store, $5 kid section type of thing. But yeah, so it's got the little tennis ball, and then you got the sharp pokey paddle that you would strap on with your strap onto one of your hands, and then you throw the tennis ball and you catch it that way. I don't know why because especially considering the fact that we had a tennis ball available, my friend Brandon decides oh hey, what if we take this bat here and we use the Velcro handles that we were using to catch the tennis ball. We'll use those as a ball or a frisbee to throw across home plate, and we just play baseball like that. And we're as a kid.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. You're playing baseball with a frisbee that's actually a paddle.
Yep. That's exactly what we decided to do, and kid logic dictated it had to be done because apparently I agreed to it, and I'm like, this sounds great. And so I don't know if I remember in the moment telling him okay, don't throw any fast pitches because that thing's hard. I don't want it to hit me. But I vaguely remember saying something along those lines because I know when I was pitching to him and he had the bat, I was just kind of giving him soft lobs. I wasn't rocketing the thing at him. Sure enough, when he gets the chance to be a pitcher, I get the bat. I'm sitting there. We're only maybe 10 feet apart. And again, this is little kid reaction time. So just imagine I'm sitting there with the bat. He takes the freaking paddle and just launches it at me as if he's playing ultimate frisbee. Sure enough, the thing just cracks me right in my face, hits the bridge of my nose, and I'm pretty sure my nose is actually still flat in one spot. You can feel it.
Ugh.
Like, and immediately nosebleed. I'm crying. His mom comes out, like, just because she hears what's going on, and he's freaking out, and she just screams, Brandon! Like, just pulls me into the house, gets a rag, starts cleaning up my face and everything. I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm sitting there crying because, again, my nose is bleeding. I'm in pain. Like, this thing just got, oh my, like, I can't even describe, dude. It, like, hurts so bad because it's just, it's hard plastic hitting your child face nose. Like, ugh. It was terrible.
I've got a few more stories.
Oh, gosh.
These ones are even baseball related.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll save them for another time, I think.
Oh, you don't want to talk about...
Maybe we'll revisit them next episode because something special is happening in the next episode.
Episode 25 is going to be special.
Episode 25, we're going to have our quarter quell and celebrate it with another random episode.
Oh, nice.
Our second random episode ever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so I mean, we want people to tune in like a radio. Yeah.
Tune in next time.
But yeah, last time we did it was just John and me. And
Right.
now this time we're going to have at least 3 of us.
Yeah, I should be there. Hopefully my, overtime and stuff has calmed down at work, so I should be good to go. But in the meantime, Luke, I'd like to entertain you and our listeners with another Am I the Butthole story.
And there's sure to be more
Because-
where this came from on the next one.
Yeah, because you know what? You guys deserve it. We've been off for a while, so I want to spoil you guys. I want to give you a really entertaining podcast right now. So, am I the butthole for eating pizza?
Interesting.
All right.
I eat pizza all the time.
I know, pizza's delicious. Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. You don't remember that commercial?
Nope. What the heck was that?
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to remember what the actual food was now, but it's like, dinner in the morning, dinner in the evening, something at supper time. It's like an old classic commercial. I remember growing up watching it, but I can't remember the food that it actually was now.
It's not DiGiorno. It's not delivery.
Because, again, what pizza wasn't the item in question. It was something else. It was some other food. But anyway, maybe one of our listeners knows. They can leave it in the comment section.
Campbell's.
All right. Back to the story.
Possibilities.
Close. All right. So, am I the butthole for eating pizza? My wife is a hypochondriac, and today we went to the movies. I grabbed a slice of after we went to the movies. Excuse me. After we went to the movies, I grabbed a slice of pizza. I had been thinking about this after movie slice all day, and soon as she realized I was getting pizza, she freaked out and started screaming at me like a little kid, trying to push me away from the pizza place. She was saying how I'm going to get coronavirus from eating pizza with my hands, even though I used hand sanitizer. Now she won't even talk to me and says I risked her life for pizza, and now doubts whether I am suitable to be a father. I promised her that I won't eat any more pizza by the slice or anything like that until the virus scare is over, even though I think it's all a bit ridiculous. She calmed down a bit, but I think I think the whole situation is stupid. I can't be expected to live in a bubble because she's a hypochondriac. Am I the butthole? And it says, it does have a little comment. Please don't say she is. I feel like it's either I am the butthole or nobody is.
That's very noble.
That's noble of him, but I don't know. I still feel like she's a little bit of a butthole here.
I like this one because it's so relevant.
Yeah,
like coronavirus.
Oh gosh, man. You know what's funny? I go to the outlets a lot, and this is somewhat unrelated to the story. And the coronavirus didn't start in China. Is that where it originated from? There's a lot of like Asian Chinese people who come to the outlets because it's a big tourist attraction, and all of them, every single one, have the friggin' doctor face masks. I wonder if they really know that the doctor face masks, they're not to prevent anything from coming in, they're to prevent stuff from going out. Like when a doctor operates for surgery, that's what it's for. It's to keep his bacteria and stuff from his breath getting into the open body of somebody who's being, cut open and operated on the operating table.
Fascinating.
But yeah, fun fact of the day. But again, the whole coronavirus thing, it's like, I know they had a case of it reported somewhere in California already, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. So, and I get she's a hypochondriac, and I know like the fear of diseases, whatever else.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it still seems so ridiculous. It's
Dude,
just,
you should be worried. Remember how horrible it was for all of us when the bird flu swept through the nation?
Totally.
Remember how it changed your life when
Yep.
the swine flu?
The pandemic, dude. I remember ABC every other weeknight would be releasing either a documentary or a somewhat movie based on how quickly this virus is going to spread, and oh my gosh, the chaos that would ensue. And we lived through it, man. We basically had 3 apocalypses already, and nobody even knows about it.
Yeah, that's not even talking about the West Nile virus.
Oh gosh, man, super crazy.
So we're screwed.
Yeah, everyone just stay in your houses and lock your doors. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Personally, I did not die during any of those.
Weird. I swear I did.
But I also knew nobody who did.
Or, maybe I just had bad diarrhea from like Taco Bell or Carl's Jr. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I thought I had the virus, but it was just something stupid. Or maybe the virus itself is stupid. Who knows? But, that's all.
Back to pizza.
All right, so how do you feel about
this guy is not the butthole. Come on.
Not at all. It's just like, dude, we just wanted a slice.
I'm sorry, man. I have to go against your wishes.
Yeah, like I said.
That's not cool. Saying you're not suitable for children.
Yeah, not suitable to be
that's a low. That's the lowest of blows.
That is super over the line.
That's like you're not fit to procreate. Mm. That you should go extinct. That's literally what she's saying.
Right. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you have to say like I'm willing to take the risk of a coronavirus to be with you. Like if it's such an irrational fear, even if it's completely legitimate, I'm personally willing to say I would risk it to hang out with a few people.
Right. And I'm just okay. Here's my thing too. I'm trying to make the connection. Why? Like, am I missing something here? Like, just scientific wise, logic wise, why is pizza the trigger? Because he ate it with his hand? Like, what's the connection between that and the coronavirus? Like, he used hand sanitizer, like he said, but what? Like, pizza set her off. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know the whole science, because again, like,
I think it's because it's a finger food.
So coronavirus has to do with fingers, just like
his own fingers
spreading with the contact, I guess.
Like don't eat food with your hands because you might have coronavirus on your hands. That's kind of the idea. Like if you use utensils, hopefully those will be clean.
All right, whatever. I'm already over it, man.
So we will not officially call her the butthole, but
she's pretty close. She's at least a butt cheek.
It's just not official.
Yeah.
Because the guy told us not to.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
So there's, with fingers, finger quotes, no butthole
quote
today.
All right. Well, I think with all that being said, I think it's time for us to transition to the entertainment portion of the podcast. That was beautiful.
That was lovely. Good job, Dylan.
Thank you. I had to fill in for John because we still miss him. But he's getting his premaritals done. So...
Why does that sound so funny? It doesn't. There's nothing funny about it.
You hear the word premaritals, and everyone probably is, at least for myself, yeah. Again, thinking of sex of some kind, because that's the only time I ever heard that word was premarital sex. Like that's the only time I ever heard it in a sentence. But no, it's premarital counseling and stuff. Like he's going through with pastors and whatnot. Like that's a good thing. But again, premarital triggers other stuff.
I've been watching some premarital TV.
Nice.
And that's TV when you're not married.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only kind of TV I watch.
Premaritals. What do you want?
Anyway.
Bad boy.
Something fun just happened. And this is probably only going to be relatable for like 2% of the population.
Speaking of the fun premaritals that you have with yourself.
Project Blue Book is back.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what?
It's
on History Channel. Go check it out. Project Blue Book. It's about, so if you like aliens and conspiracy theories.
Which I do.
This is about the Project Blue Book.
Yeah.
If you know anything about that, that's like the government investigation of UFOs.
Correct, yes.
They did an official investigation of the stories, like Roswell. They went and interviewed people there. All of these different sightings, they did an investigation to decide, is this real?
Yeah, is there potential for life?
This was a big phenomenon back in like the 40s and 50s. It was really taken off.
Yeah.
So this is all about that investigation. These two guys, a pilot and a scientist, they've been assigned by the military to investigate these things. Mm-hmm. And it's a good show.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, of course, it's I'm sure, exaggerated in every way. But
it's still entertaining.
But they're kind of uncovering these things. It's like the government just really wants us to shut people up. They don't really want us to find anything, but we're finding stuff.
Right.
So it's kind of about how they're going to hide that from the government and continue to investigate to find out the truth. Mm. It's good stuff. Every episode is something new, and they include little factoids at the end. This episode was based on this incident, so I'm loving it. Season 2 just came out.
Yeah,
I just watched the first episode. There's 2 episodes out right now, So,
and this is on which
History Channel.
History Channel, right? Okay.
History Channel. Like that's relevant. Go check it out though. I fully recommend Project Blue Book, especially if you like aliens, conspiracy theories. It's all good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know me and John, we've talked about it too on like other podcast apps. We talked about podcasts that we like to listen to, and so I'm definitely into like the whole mythology, folklore, alien, like all that kind of supernatural stuff. It's fun to me. Like cryptozoology. I love deep diving into stuff, like reading about incidents or reports that people are like eyewitness accounts and stuff. I'm like, oh yes, give me the juice. Like, give me the juice. That sounds weird, but give me the scoop. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, so I'm totally for any kind of stuff like that. Whatever suspense thriller type. Cryptozoological UFOs, whatever. I'm all for it. So definitely check it out. I want to put it on my watch list or whatever. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna watch it though, because I did cancel my Sling subscription. But
added bonus.
But
it takes place in the 50s.
Ooh.
And people love the 50s.
They do love the 50s. Yeah. They like dancing and stuff.
Lollipop, lollipop.
Ooh, lollipop. Oh, that was nice. All right. So yeah, so definitely something to check out if you're into that kind of stuff. Keep an eye out for it. And then also, speaking of more cryptozoological stuff, did you see the Morbius trailer? Because again, we've been off for 2 weeks, folks. There's a lot to talk about.
I did see the Morbius trailer.
Morbius looks pretty good. Jared Leto actually looks better as a sickly vampire man than he did as the Joker, because that was just garbage.
He started out sickly.
Yeah.
By the end of the trailer, he was not sickly.
No, he was creepy. But yeah, that again, like I said, I know we talked about it with the New Mutants trailer and everything in the last episode. I'm super excited to see the different types of feel that these other Marvel movies are going to get with like kind of the more horror suspense genre type feel to them.
That's kind of been like the biggest criticism of Marvel movies. Oh, they're all the same. They're all these like action, big, colorful, comedy, fun action comedies. And now they're like, okay, well, you asked for it. Now we're giving it to you.
Yeah, we're going to give you some creepy suspense dramas. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And again, Jared Leto looks like he's the right guy for the Morbius role. So hopefully that delivers well and does not fall flat.
I like all the purple flashes.
Purple, yeah, there you go. Yeah, good call out. And then the other movie I want to talk about is the Bloodshot trailer. Have you seen that? Do you know what Bloodshot is?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, totally. That was my bad. I meant,
forgot. Before this started, we were like, "Yeah, let's just watch it right now." So Luke, we'll
know
what's going on.
This is exactly what I didn't want to happen, but I kind of dropped the ball too because I was like, "Oh, hey, let me do this," and then I got unfocused doing some other stuff. So yeah, it was just. But yeah, Bloodshot, I'm super excited for. Although I will say this, as a Power Ranger fan, there's actually another series that involves Jason David Frank. For those of you that don't know, Jason David Frank is the Green Ranger from growing up in the Power Rangers from the 90s series, the originals. He actually is doing he's part of his own like Bloodshot. It's called Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, and Bloodshot's one of the people in that, and he plays Bloodshot crazy good. Like if you watch some of the clips they might have it on YouTube or whatever from certain trailers and clips that he's uploaded on his Instagram, his Facebook page, they look intense. Like it's just these crazy fight scenes and whatnot. It's just awesome. And Bloodshot himself is like this super soldier who like pretty much can't die. Like if he gets injured, like there's stuff inside his blood that's already like healing him and whatnot. So it's really awesome. Looks
like
epic.
Deadpool.
Kind of, but a little more intense as opposed to funny. So yeah, just a slight switch there. But yeah, it looks really awesome. Again, I do like Vin Diesel. I don't hate him as an actor. Again, I would have preferred Jason David Frank, but hopefully he can do the character justice. So that still looks good. I believe that's coming out March 13th. So I'm looking forward to that because Friday the 13th is, Friday the 13th in general is always a good luck day for me. So the fact that that's coming out, already a good sign.
Is March 13th a Friday?
Yeah.
How does that keep happening?
It rotates because one year it'll be this month, and then next year it'll be that month, and then that month. It goes all around.
Yeah.
So, but
did you know that Easter is on Friday the 13th this year?
Ooh.
Yeah, should be good.
Dude, that's gonna be super creepy. But I mean, like it'll be good, but yeah, it's just weird. Easter on a Friday the 13th. Yeah. Like I said though, it's always been good luck for me, so I have no issue with it. I guess.
Wait for it to sink in.
You idiot! Sorry. Oh God, how did I? Yeah. I'm just like, because in my whatever, he's gonna get all super happy and proud about that. Like in my head, he said Easter, but there's still Good Friday, so I attribute that to part of Easter. So that's why I didn't really think anything of it. And then Easter Sunday. Gosh.
I got so many people with Halloween. I
Halloween's
said Halloween's ending up on Friday the 13th this
Yeah,
year.
and I think I remember I
got
there.
you.
No, that one
No?
I called out for, but I was like,
I got some
this
coworkers
Easter
with
one.
it.
I'm like, wait,
Yes!
whatever. Now I got to look like an idiot. Well, I guess I get to sound like an idiot on the podcast, but I do that all the time anyway.
This is going to be saved forever.
Oh gosh, man. Yeah, unlock my thank you with a mouthful of food. But anyway, yeah. So definitely looking forward to that. But okay, that's what I want. This is I wish John could have been here for this. Okay, do you have any interest in like the Bond movie franchise?
Not really.
No,
I've seen a few of them. They're not bad, but
do you have any interest in seeing the next Bond movie? Like just as like just a movie.
is that the new actor yet?
No. It's still I believe this is
Elba going to do it.
I don't know. They still haven't really decided. Okay. I'm wondering if they might introduce because in the trailer there is another 00 agent. It's a black female actress. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but in the trailer, like she talks about how she's a 00 as well. And so I don't know if they're gonna like kind of use that to transition Daniel Craig out because this is his last movie as Bond.
Yeah.
If he'll be coming out and then she'll take over the role or anything like that. I know they did speculate Bond being a female, but again, that's neither here nor there. But again, my point is just asking, like, just as an action spy movie, do you have any interest in possibly seeing it? Like,
possibly.
Okay, because my thought was, since this is going to be the last Daniel Craig one, maybe what we can do is like watch all the different Bond movies he's been a part of, like leading up to it, and then go see it opening weekend or whatever. Maybe
and then
even
dress up as Daniel Craig.
Totally. I couldn't pull off that suit, man. I don't look that handsome. I mean, granted, he's not the most handsome Bond I've ever seen, but he's definitely better looking than me. I'll still say that. But what? Oh, so okay. Well, Luke's giving me some compliments here. I appreciate it. But no, so yeah, I was just thinking, if we watch all the movies, we can have me, you, and John. We could all get together and just sit down, watch the movies. We can have our own marathon of bondage. I think that would be really good for us to have together, a marathon of bondage. It took him a while to let that one sink in too.
It's funny. I was just thinking about how I got you, and I was thinking about how many of the listeners do we trick with that one?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. That's what I get for being distracted. I come back to reality.
I know.
And it's a marathon of bondage.
He's sitting there smiling at me, just like nodding his head. I'm like, did you not catch that? All right. But anyway, I think I do honestly want to do that, though. I think it'll be fun. We can just talk about it overall, how the franchise, or at least, the franchise for his series of movies went.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, again, like I said, 2 weeks off. I've got a lot to talk about for movie reviews, so I will do my best, folks, to blaze through this as quick as possible. But I have the review for 1917,
award-winning movie.
The review for Underwater. The review for
movie.
Bad Boys.
Not an award-winning movie.
I keep saying it. And the award. Dang it! Now I'm doing it. And the review for The Gentleman. All right. So getting to my list of movie criteria, 1917. Definitely something new. I know I can't recall off the top of my head a lot of movies that are based in World War I, per se. A lot of them World War II, but even still, there's multiple aspects, multiple stories that you can get. So I give it an A for originality, give it a 5 out of an A, if that makes sense.
5 out of an A.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a really, really good plot. The drama, the action of it all, really good special effects. Music really puts you in the moment of like whether they're going through some kind of suspense. Oh, for those of you that don't know, 1917, again, based off the British soldiers who had to go stop almost essentially a slaughter that was a trap set up by the Germans. They had to, 2 soldiers had to get across enemy lines to go deliver a message to another colonel who was going to lead an attack the following morning. And so it's like their journey, their story. But yeah, so again, they have to get across to deliver that message to save everyone's lives. Length, not too long. You don't sit there feeling like you're bored. So even if it is maybe close to 2 hours, you don't sit there like, oh my gosh, this is over yet. You're not counting the minutes. Like I said, the music really sets up a lot of good suspense points and everything else to really build the drama and the action, the climate, the atmosphere around what's going on in the scenes. Wow factor, wow.
Wow.
I give it the Owen Wilson wow. We should start doing. I give it the Owen Wilson wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, so I like that one. Obviously, you're going to get the content warning of war. There's going to be violence. There's going to be blood. But I think overall it's fine. No kind of. Obviously, there's no kind of like nudity at any point. There's no. I don't think they cuss too much. I can't recall anything that really stuck out to me. So yeah, if you want to go see movie based in a real life story. Go check out 1917. Like Luke said, award-winning movie. Great. I give it a solid A review.
Yeah, that's a sparkling A.
Sparkle. Or is it explosions?
Both.
Yes,
Both.
agreed. Why are you putting that L in there?
Both of them.
Both. All right. So my next review after 1970 is Underwater. Underwater is the another suspense thriller movie with Kristen Stewart as a underwater scientist. Her and a few others are in this underwater lab that is starting to have sustainable errors that cause them to have to flee the facility and make their way back to the surface. But as they're trying to escape, they encounter more dangers than they were expecting. In the trailers, they do show monster creeps trying to come through the darkness at them. And so again, this movie, it's it's one of those things. It's only an hour and a half long, which is great for movies like this because you don't want something like this to draw out too much, and you don't want it to be too little. Because again, we do have our grading point for anything that's under an hour and a half should just be a TV movie.
Yeah.
And so it hits the mark exactly, and I think it's perfect because what also makes this movie great, they don't waste any time. Like you see the trailer, how it starts off, she's in the bathroom brushing her teeth, and then like boom, like the facility starts collapsing and flooding. That's where you start the movie at. Like it just gets you right into all the action. Like
it's like the equivalent of Once Upon a Time. There was a submarine that exploded underwater.
Yeah, they get you right into it, and I really appreciate that aspect from the director. All the actors and actresses. Again, this is I think one of my better performances from Kristen Stewart. I know everyone gives her the fandom just from the Twilight movies and the Twilight saga, but
I know her from Zathura first.
That's true. She was
anybody else?
She was what, like the sister slash babysitter. Sister. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it was. I liked her in this movie. She did a good job performing. Again, on all the actors and actresses, like I said, all around, did a great job. And so, like I said, the movie itself had a really good original plot. Had, like I said, hit the length mark. Music was really good. Special effects, CGI. The only thing that I kind of critique it on. Things I know they're at the bottom of the ocean, so obviously there's not going to be that much light. But it was just, it's one of those things where it's like I know people can use it as an excuse, but some scenes just get really dark, and it's like I can't even see anything going on right now.
And that was in a dark movie theater.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it gets a little too dark. It's hard to make out at sometimes. So that's my only kind of like critique for this one. But I think overall, I'd still give this movie a B+, a solid B+, possibly even creaking into the A- level. So go check out Underwater if you're into suspense thrillers.
Did you ever see Life?
I did, yeah, I own Life. That's the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, and the weird creature that they find out in space that ends up trying to attack them in the space shuttle.
So like. Instead of being underwater in space, instead of trying to get back to the surface, they're trying to get back into the atmosphere.
Yeah, so it was again, it's definitely one of those fun things to check out. Like if you just have some time, maybe if you want to Redbox it, go for that. But again, seeing it in theaters, if it's still showing available near you, check it out. Next movie I have. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? All right, buddy cop movie. You got Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, once again trying to solve some crime down in Miami. Heyo, that's where the Super Bowl is gonna be this year.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so there once again,
it's where the Super Bowl was.
Oh, that's right, because this episode will come out after
Monday.
Fact, which we do have a fun video for our Super Bowl predictions. Just no, I can't even say stay tuned. You've probably already seen it by now, but hopefully. Did you like it? All right, so anyway, this movie, once again, puts Martin Lawrence and Will Smith in a buddy cop movie together to, again, go out there and solve the crime of who's trying to kill Will Smith's character, or Mike Lowry, as they like to say in the movie. Again, movie is really, really great. Dude, the action scenes are well detailed, and unlike Underwater, I mean, I know, again, that one is suspense horror, but this one, having the action, it's really well done, like fight scenes, gun shootouts, whatever else. Really amazing visual effects, and then they put this great amount of comedy in there as well. It's like, it's what I love about the Bad Boys franchise, and it's nothing that's like too cheesy or corny in the comedy era, but they can still put in a lot of good drama, suspense, action at the same time, and so it's really, really well balanced. The score is really good for the different scenes as they're going through the movie and everything. Obviously, it's it is a sequel, so as far as originality, it's not like super up there, but I would still give Bad Boys another A review. It's another movie worth checking out if you have the time. Go see that movie. It's freaking amazing.
Nice.
And lastly, we have The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey. It's got Hugh Grant in it. It's got a whole list of characters in this movie, and it's again, people have raved and reviewed about it as being the revival of the gangster comedy franchise of just themes and movies in general. I'm just going to start out with this. Go see The Gentleman. The Gentleman it's going to get an A+, and I'm going to explain why, because like this whole thing, like I was just talking about with Bad Boys, this thing's got really well done action. Obviously it's original. The whole plot of the movie is really great. The actors perform their butts off. Like it's just, I love seeing the whole thing play out. Like, and just, you know, Matthew McConaughey has this kind of like this drug lord type figure, and just like, again, what all's going on, that's in the trailer, that's not a spoiler, but again, just all the comedy from like the henchmen to like the certain situations people get into, the whole movie through and through, man. I want to go back and see it again. Luke, you almost came with me and Sarah when we saw it last weekend. I wouldn't mind going to see it again with you if you really want to go check this movie out, because I know I do. So maybe when we have free time, either some point this next week, whenever. The Gentleman was just freaking amazing. And as far as music goes, oh my gosh. Okay, so the score itself, I forget who the composer was, but again, phenomenal job to really set up just this story time theme of, like, you know, people going through, like, discussing what's going on in the plot of the movie. But the one thing I have to say that stole the show, and I've probably annoyed Sarah to death with it, there's a rapper in the movie. This might be a little bit of a spoiler, but
it's Kanye West.
Yeah, no. But again, his name is I don't know if it's his actual name or his performance name, but Bugsy Malone gives a song in the movie that it's in my head, and like I don't want to go into it too much, but the scene in which you see the song on the screen and the time it first hits you, I'm a big hip hop fan, and like, oh my gosh, dude, like the way they timed this rap song of his to go up in the movie, it was just freaking amazing. I can't get the song out of my head. I want to hear more and more of this song. They need, because I think it was part of the movie itself, kind of like how in Home Alone that gangster movie he kept watching was literally just a movie that they set up and fake filmed for the actual movie itself. It's not
like in Home Alone, that gangster movie.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, so okay, if you don't know that movie that Kevin's always watching, you know, say you're sorry to me. You got 10 seconds to leave the room, whatever the guy says, and he shoots people to death.
I'm gonna give you till the count of 10.
There you go.
To get your filthy.
So if you don't already know, that's a fake movie. They made that just for Home Alone. And in the same way, like, you know, I don't know if they made this song to be part of the movie in that kind of regard, or if they will release an actual dropped single track of that. I hope they do, man, because this song is just phenomenal. And he, like I said, he stole the show. Like, again, all kudos to the composer for the actual score of the movie, but my goodness, that song just, like I was sitting in my chair bumping around like, oh, I want to just dance right now. Like, it was so freaking great. I can't give it enough praise. The Gentleman, A++++. Go see The Gentleman. Ooh. Oh my gosh, great movie. I think it is now time for us to transition to sports. Okay, so we're going to have to start sports off on I don't want to say just downer, because that's not how I want to kind of like encompass this whole event. But as most of you know, this past Sunday on, I believe it was January 26th, early morning, Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, and along with several others, died in a plane crash early morning, like I said, on Sunday. So us here,
a helicopter crash.
So us here at the podcast, we wanted to kind of honor him, with, again, just a 8-second moment of silence there in the episode. And again, we just want to, again, talk about, kind of tribute this episode to him. I don't even know. It was so weird about this too, is again, we had these several weeks off here, and it was just, that was unplanned. We didn't know we weren't going to be able to record episodes these previous weekends. But what's weird is the fact that our episode 24 is again, the episode where we have to talk about this tragedy happening and Kobe's death in general. So I just thought that was kind of weird in a sense. I don't know if that was just coincidence or not, but again, just having episode 24 be a tribute to him and what he's done. We wanted to give you guys a little bit of a segment about him. I wrote a letter. Luke will follow up with some stats just about how great Kobe was as a player, person. But yeah, so we're going to take this time to honor him, cherish the memory of who Kobe Bryant was. So like I said, I wrote this letter. And again, if I cry, I apologize. But you can maybe understand why as I read. Dear Kobe, I know as of late my passion has been football, but basketball has always been my first love when it came to professional sports. When I was a kid, I loved basketball thanks to Space Jam and Michael Jordan. But when I saw you play in the NBA, it was amazing to witness. I was 4 years old when you got drafted by the Lakers in *96. Watching you play was a sight to see. It was a privilege and an honor to see your entire career play out for my team. From you dropping 81 points in Toronto to you coming back in a 7-game series against the Celtics in my graduating year of 2010. These are only a few of your amazing highlights from your 20-year career with the team. But things weren't always great. I know there were some issues both on and off the court that you had to deal with, and I don't bring these up to condemn you, as some people would try to do in light of your death, but rather to honor you more. When these situations came up, you didn't flee from them, you didn't get angry or try to get even. You manned up to confront your own mistakes and make amends for them, just as King David did all those years ago. You weren't a man without faults, which none of us are, but you were a man who was able to rise up in the end and overcome them. Your life spans more than just the basketball court, Kobe. It has impacted a 27-year-old from Moreno Valley because of who you were. You never gave up. You were fierce. You were tenacious, determined, but you were also loving and caring. These are some of the qualities displayed in the Mamba mentality that everyone aspires towards in their lives. When you retired in 2016, the game and the Lakers felt empty, but after your tragic passing, that emptiness has only grown. I pray for your family, that God's love, I pray for your family and the other families involved in the crash, and that God's love would comfort them. I wish I could have seen you play once when you were still on the team, but I look forward to one day balling with you in heaven. I just ask that when you get there, you give me a break, maybe an 8 or a 24-point lead to start, because I know that you will win the same way you did in this life as well as in the afterlife, because you are indeed a champion. All of LA and the world misses you. Mamba fan out. It's still weird to me to think that Kobe Bryant's gone. He was only 41 years old. And it's something that you don't really know until it happens, because you think about the fact that I never met this man personally. But again, just being able to see him as I was growing up through my life and everything. And like I said in the letter, just all the stuff that was going on, both on and off the court, and just how he overcame them. He was just a champion, had this great mindset and this mentality. Seeing all the different tribute videos of how people would honor him during NBA games. In this last Friday night, I know LeBron and the Lakers gave a speech pre-game and talked about just how amazing he was as a player, a father, and a friend, and everything else. It's just it's still hard to deal with, and it's one of those things where it's like when the news first broke, I couldn't even comprehend. I thought it was fake, but yeah, I'm, like I said, as I'm kind of tearing up now, I'm still just kind of at a loss for words at times, and just it's still hard to let that sink in that Kobe Bryant is no longer with us. So
yeah, I'm not much of a basketball fan, but even I was shocked to find out of Kobe's death. He's the kind of player that has an impact on other sports fans as well.
Right.
And I imagine if this were to happen in my world, if this were to happen in the baseball world, how big of a shock that would be. I mean, this would be like losing Derek Jeter or Mike Trout just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
These people inspired
millions,
an entire generation across the country.
Yeah.
To be athletic in some sort of way. People still say Kobe when they shoot trash into the trash can.
Yeah.
It's the kind of impact that goes beyond sports.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's again, it spans all sports, spans all walks of life. Just again, I know even I think some of the when other players from different sports, whether it be football, soccer, more basketball players, just
entire organizations,
entire organizations, when they found out, just putting up honorary lights of just saying, like, I think even for one of the soccer players, he was crying when he got the news. The Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, the owner, he said that no one's ever going to wear the number 8 or 24 here in this organization as long as I own it. Just the dude impacted so many people. And like I said, that's why I said it spans more than just the basketball court, just the way the guy lived his life. It's just, it's a big loss, and that's all I can really sum it up as.
Yeah, regardless of who the best basketball player in history is, I think it's, looking at this response, I think it's safe to say that Kobe Bryant was the most well-respected basketball player in history.
Right.
He's got that combination of talent and integrity that everybody's kind of looking for.
Yeah. Man, it's like I said, it's tough, man. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of his talent, we do have some stats here to kind of remember what kind of a player he was. And one of the biggest things you have to mention whenever you talk about Kobe Bryant's greatness is his big 81-point game.
Right, against Toronto.
Against Toronto in the 2005-2006 season.
Yeah.
Which is insane. The closest anybody else has come to that, besides one other person, is Michael Jordan, who scored 69 points in one game. So he's a full 12 points behind.
Right. Double digits behind, yeah.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain is the only one who's ever done better. He did 100 points in a game. So Kobe Bryant's game was number 2 on that list, which is crazy.
Yeah.
During that game, he was 66% of the Lakers' offense that night. They put up 122 points total. He did 81.
Yeah.
So that's 66% of that. Kobe is another player. He's one of the only players. He's the only player to have played in 3 different decades for one team.
Yeah.
He had a 20-year career. That's crazy.
Yeah, spanning the 90s, the thousands, and the 10s.
Like basketball players, that's a sport where you can start really young at the professional level, at the highest level.
Yeah, and straight out of high school is what he did too.
That's crazy to me. You can't really do that in football. Baseball, it's happened before, but to have somebody 18 years old on the court is crazy. So his 20-year career, and like I said, 3 different decades, all on the Lakers. He's played in the 19th most games in NBA history, which is 1,293. Let's see. He has the 3rd most free throws in NBA history, which I think is interesting. He's known as being a ball hog, but he's actually number 124 in his career in assists per game, which is 4.7. That's interesting. Michael Jordan is number 1 with 5.11 when it comes to assists per game.
Right.
So we can see Kobe Bryant is the kind of guy that will put up the offensive numbers that you want. He'll score. But he also makes it happen with his other players as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest reason. When you combine his effectiveness for how long he played, the guys he played with, and the way he played with those other players. That's why he's one of the most well-respected players ever to play the game.
Totally. Yeah, I just again, like what 5 championships, all the MVPs he had, freaking. But he's an Olympic gold medalist.
Yes.
Again, it's just. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not cry so much. It just. Yeah, it's tough, man. Again, just everything the guy accomplished, everything he did on and off the court. It was just it was truly amazing. Again, Kobe, I can't say it enough. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
Maybe we should move on so I stop crying in front of the microphone.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll move on to baseball because there's no crying in baseball.
Yeah. Well, not unless you get hit with a Frisbee disc.
Or unless you get caught cheating, like the Houston Astros did.
Yes, they did.
Oh, my goodness. This is the biggest thing since the steroid scandal in the early 2000s. When everybody started coming forward and you find out, guys like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, these were all on steroids. This is a big thing. The Houston Astros were caught stealing signs.
Right. Signs and signals, yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about what this means. it's not uncommon to steal signs in baseball. I want to make that clear. If you have a runner on second base, it's not like it's a secret that it's been done before, that the guy on second is going to peek at what the catcher is doing and figure out some way to signal his hitter what's coming up. That's not unusual. Here's what is unusual. When there's nobody on base and you still have to figure out ways to trick the other team.
Yeah.
Like, the way they did this is they put a camera out in center field.
Yeah.
They started using the live game feed. So it started out, it's one of those slippery slopes. It starts out, if you have a guy on second base, it's fair game. There's no rule against it. It's a little frowned upon because guys don't like it when it happens to them.
Right.
But there's nothing inherently wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
The Astros took it a little bit farther, and they started using the live game
evidence,
feed and just kind of saying, here's the trends that they've got. Here's what's coming up. We're watching the game with you guys. Keep heads up on this.
Right.
Then all of a sudden there's nobody on base, and they're taking it a little bit farther, and now they've got people in the dugout, and they're watching the game in the dugout. And here's what they started to do. They started to tap on the trash can to signal their batters. If they don't do anything, it's a fastball. If they do one or two, it's some sort of off-speed pitch. So they start signaling it that way. Now there's rumors that maybe they even had devices on them to kind of give a signal as well.
Yeah, one of the players, I think, was reported when he ran to the dugout, he was telling, like, everyone's celebrating after they won the World Series, and he's like, "Don't touch my jersey!" Like, it's like, why are you getting so anal about this? Like, but yeah, and it's almost like the same thing as the whole Spygate scandal with Bill Belichick, or basically the same thing, because
this is worse.
Well,
and I know that seems biased for me, but
as far as comparison, just because, like I said, again, in the moment, like you were just saying, if a guy's on second, you can, like, okay, I think his hand's doing this when they're going to signal for this kind of change-up pitch, this curve, whatever. But again, when you bring the recording into it, and same thing with football, like if the coach sees the defense or the offense line up in a certain way, he's like, wait, I think I recognize that scheme. They're gonna do a blitz, or they're gonna pull this. So let's call a timeout. Let's regroup. We'll get another play going. You can do that in the moment. There's nothing wrong with that, like you said. But when you start bringing in the cameras and the footage, and you like really start studying and taking what they have available, like that's when the cheating aspect comes into play. And so it's just like, again, that's what Bill Belichick was doing when he was spying on other teams during walkthroughs, and then obviously now the Houston Astros stealing signals during game with, like you said, the live feed and everything else.
Yeah, stealing it from second base is no easy task. Because everybody's watching you. You got to figure out how to not get picked off, and you have to figure out how to signal your guy without the team noticing.
Right.
It's nothing easy. And the way I see it, it's a little bit like going hunting. I don't want to make it too controversial with some of the animal rights things that are going on, but if you go hunting, you're just going out there to catch some food. You want to feed yourself. Let's stick with this. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a struggle for you. It's a struggle for whatever the prey is.
Right.
And you get something good out of it at the end. It would be like going up to tying a deer to a tree and then just walking up and shooting it. There's no struggle there. There's nothing noble about it at all. It's just
you cheated.
Yeah, you cheated. That's why it's one thing to steal signs from second base, but it's a completely different thing to start using technology and cameras on the field. There was a pitcher with the Dodgers. I can't remember his first name, but Wood. I think it's Alex Wood.
Okay.
He pitched against the Astros in the World Series. And when this all came into the light, he said, "That's not cool. I would rather face somebody on steroids than someone who knows every pitch that's coming."
Right.
And that's completely fair.
Yeah, because again, even
steroids will give you a little bit. You'll be able to hit the ball a little bit farther, maybe. But
you still got to read the ball and hit the timing. Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into that. If you know exactly what's
coming, trust me. If you're sitting on a fastball, you know it's coming. The chances
swing right down the pipe.
You can get it. Yeah. So, and there's catchers talking about, it's not cool because your pitcher throws a perfect slider on an 0-2 count, and they don't even flinch.
Right. Yeah. So it's just it's one of those things where it's like, again, that's my whole thing with, like, I know I've talked about it with when it comes to football, and that's what I keep comparing it to. But, like, I hate when a sport gets tarnished, like the legacy of an entire franchise, an entire organization being brought down to, like, a cheating scandal of just like, well, now the integrity of the sport has to be questioned. It's just like, and again, I know that right now it's just the Houston Astros. I'm not saying the entire MLB is at fault kind of thing, but it's just like, it sucks because it does bring down the sport in general by putting this blemish on the entire record in the history books, because their World Series is going to go down with an asterisk next to it, the same way a steroid player is going to have his name in the Hall of Fame with an asterisk. Oh, he was on steroids.
Yeah.
They cheated during the World Series. Like, that just sucks.
Yeah, it's a tough call because they did win a World Series. while this was going on.
Yep.
And you wonder how much did that play into it. So the city of Los Angeles has voted.
Yeah, the city council, I know they voted.
Has voted to push the MLB towards. They really want that World Series championship just awarded to them.
Right.
And I'm not there with them. I think that's people who like the city of Los Angeles, I think, are rooting for that. But people who like baseball, I don't think there's a single serious Dodger fan that is hoping for that, because it's not going to fix it.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, because it's just like either way you look at it, it's either they keep their, which it sucks because again, like I said, the whole cheating thing. I hate the fact that in sports, you're taught when you get raised up in sports and you just in life, cheaters never prosper. That's a phrase I heard a lot growing up, but it seems like nope. Apparently, cheaters do prosper because, like, regardless of whether or not I mean, again, obviously it was confirmed that they did cheat. They still got to go down in the record books as the World Series team. They won it. They got this. They got their bonuses, whatever else. And they get to go on living their lives. Even if there is an asterisk next to it, it's like, well, we still got the trophy. Like, at the end of the day, like, they still have it. And it's just like, okay, well, if the city council, they threw the submission to the MLB to try to get the role, not the role, but the championship reversed to go back to the Dodgers. But then it's just like, okay, well, what did you really win? Like, you submitted it. You have the award now. But then everyone's going to say, like, oh, well, that's just because they got caught and they did this. Like, it wasn't like necessarily you beat them in 4 or you beat them in a 7-game series. It was just you happen to get it on a technicality, which it's just like what's the lesser of two evils here? It's just
nobody wins here.
Nobody wins.
Even these players, I mean, sure they have a World Series trophy, but what does that mean? It's a hunk of metal and they don't even have it in their homes. I mean, it's like it's in their stadium at this point.
Right.
It means nothing to them. They're going to be the enemies of every player in the MLB now.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about this situation for them.
Nope.
And we'll get into this. They have not pinpointed any specific players yet.
Right, but
the hammer is coming down on the coaches. We have Carlos Beltran. He's been fired. He just got hired with the Mets as the head coach. He's done. Alex Cora went on with the Red Sox.
Okay.
He managed the Red Sox and won the World Series with them in the following year. And he has been fired from the Red Sox now because he was involved with the Astros in 2017.
Right.
Then you had Luno, Hinch. Those guys both got fired, so now the Astros have a brand new coaching staff.
Gosh, man.
And it's only a matter of time before they start figuring out which players. There's speculation that when Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve come back and they meet up with each other for spring training, that eventually there's got to be a point where they're going to have to say, we messed up.
Right, yeah.
We're sorry.
And it's like, I kudos to the owners of these teams who are just getting rid of these coaches, because I think that's an honorable and an integrity move for them to just be like, no, you know what, you were involved in something that's horrible for the sport, horrible for the franchise. I don't want you to be any part of my team. So again, shout out to the owners for doing that. Again, like I said, big integrity move. So you get my respect on that note. By doing that. Hopefully they weren't involved, like, the owner of the Astros, because obviously he would stand to benefit from them doing it, and then he can be like, oh, well, you know what, you're fired, and just make it look good in the public. But hopefully he didn't know anything about that. But regardless, they all got the axe, like you said. So, good on them for firing them. And then again, for the MLB, did any of them get, like, bans from the actual sport, or no? You said some of them got coaching jobs? No? Okay.
They're not going to get hired.
Right, yeah, because it's just like, we're not...
The players will continue to play for sure, no matter what happens. Mm-hmm. They cheated, baseball's got lots of cheaters.
Yep.
They're not going to get suspended permanently because of something like this.
Right.
But it's definitely going to put a dent in their career.
Yeah, for sure. One highlight, I don't know much else that's gone on with the Angels, but like I said, since we've been gone for 2 weeks, I'll keep reiterating. We got a lot of old stuff to talk about, or at least this one note for the Angels. We got Matt Andres from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he's a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah, that's right. As far as we know.
I say that kind of as a joke. It's like, he's another no-name guy. Like, I don't know who he is.
Okay, because I know that's what I keep complaining about on the podcast. I know we picked up a couple other offensive players, during the offseason here, and I kept saying, like, okay, we need pitching. Yeah. I wasn't quite sure how good he was. I know I saw posts about it. I'm like, maybe this could help, but your reaction kind of has me on the fence still now.
I've never heard of the guy. That's my point. Gosh. Like, if we could... When we got Ohtani, it was like, finally.
That's a name.
There's a name.
Yeah.
We got somebody of a high caliber in the pitching position. If we could just do that more.
Yeah. We definitely still need pitching because we gotta have.
We made another off-season deal for a catcher. Every single season, man.
It's just a curse, man. They're cursed with getting catchers the same way the Chargers are cursed with never going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's all right. We've got Joe Madden as manager.
I mean,
now.
we did go to the Super Bowl, but we're never going to win one.
We've got Joe Madden as manager now. So Mike Social was a catcher. Brad Austin was a catcher. Joe Madden, not a catcher. Maybe we can get rid of this obsession with catchers now.
All right. Well, yeah. And speaking of the Chargers, yeah, kind of another low note. Antonio Gates, man, he's calling it a career. He did retire and he got called back from the Chargers because we had no tight end. But yeah, he is officially retiring now as a tight end of the NFL. And what's cool, one of his most notable records, he has the most touchdown receptions by a tight end. So he passed Gonzalez. I believe he ended with, if I'm not mistaken, 118 on his final record.
Yeah.
And I don't know the yards offhand, but I know he'll definitely for sure be in the Hall of Fame because he was
that will stand until Travis Kelce passes it.
Yeah,
the way things are looking,
I wouldn't be surprised. Again, he's got Mahomes throwing to him, so yeah, that's definitely breakable.
If he plays long enough.
That's definitely breakable. I know with everyone would talk about Gronk being better than Gates. I honestly wouldn't give him that much because just with how injury prone he was, like, oh well, if he stays healthy, well, he's not staying healthy. That's the problem. So,
yeah, I'll say
like.
In Gronkowski's prime, he was better than Antonio Gates in his prime.
I
don't think there was anybody who was better than Gronkowski in his prime, and I mean maybe at any position.
But I think what the problem comes down to is the fact that in his prime when he's healthy, it's always these stipulations, and because he never
and that's why I would never give him the career title.
Right, yeah, and that's why I would still give a leg up to Antonio Gates. The fact that he played so many games, he was so consistent, rarely if ever injured. Like the dude was just a beast, and he was a monster on the field. Because again, he wasn't like throwing defenders off him the same way Gronkowski would, but he was still a tough guy to take down. It's like when he was running a route, like he's getting the ball. You're not taking that from him. Again, it's one of the things where it's like I really wish that I know Tomlinson retired. He was the running back for the Chargers. Gates, he's retiring now. Those are two guys who should have gotten rings with the Chargers. Like they put in so much time, effort, energy, just their life. They should have gotten something, man, because they deserve it with their career. Again, both Gates will be in the Hall of Fame. Tomlinson is in the Hall of Fame. Like they deserved a ring, man, and it sucks that the franchise couldn't do them justice. And so sorry, but again, Gates, sad to see you go. And then also another shocking retirement, Luke Kuechly from the Panthers, dude. I believe he's only like 28 years old and he's retiring from football. I'm just like I don't know what it is with the Panthers. They're doing these changes. I mean, granted, I guess like the players retiring isn't necessarily like them doing it, but the Panthers have been a hot spot for weird things I didn't see coming because, like we talked earlier in the other episodes, they got rid of Ron Rivera, who I thought was a great head coach. I don't think he deserved to be fired with, again, all the injury issues and stuff that was going on with the team just, this season. Like, I mean, was it the best record they've ever had? Obviously not, but I still think I would have given him one more season before, giving him the axe. Again, like I said, Luke Kuechly retiring at such a young age from the game of football. He was one of the like Pro Bowl backs that they had as a linebacker. And then the other thing that was just announced too recently, Greg Olsen is no longer be with Panther. Him and the franchise have agreed to part ways. Again, the same way as like they agreed to part ways with Ron Rivera, but it's just like Greg Olsen was another top tight end. I wouldn't, at least top 10, maybe even top 5 if he was, had a good quarterback throwing to him. But it's like he was a consistent player. Like, why are all these people going? Like, I don't know, man. It's something with the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if there's something in the water, but like they just keep. Man.
We should probably mention Phillip Rivers too.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. That's the one good thing that's coming out of this offseason is Phillip Rivers they did not sign him. They're not committing to sign him as the Chargers bases. So, and there's speculation he might go to the Colts. That's what I'm seeing reports of initially. But then other things that I was seeing an article as far as Brady goes because I know we've speculated him possibly coming to the Chargers.
Did you see his Instagram picture?
I did not.
There's a picture of him in the tunnel at Gillette Stadium.
Uh-huh.
But you can't tell if he's walking in or out.
Oh, what a jerk. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
Things are getting interesting there. And, like, let's cover the Phillip Rivers thing first, then we can dive into Tom Brady. With Phillip, again, like him leaving, or no, it was Tom Brady we were talking about. I think it was articles I was seeing for him. That's what it was. I guess, like, him and his wife, Giselle, they're looking into schools, I think, around the Tennessee area for their kids. It's something
really?
that could raise some speculation because
Dude,
if he
that
gets
would be such a good match. I hope it doesn't happen.
I don't want it to happen either. But shoot, man, that the Tennessee Titans do have a great offensive line. They're not going to start Mariota. Tannehill obviously didn't really pull it through for him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's just like they still need a quarterback.
Tannehill's no Brady.
Yeah, he's not
Can
Brady.
you imagine?
He's not Brady by any means. And shoot, man, if you give Tom Brady the receivers they have on the outside, because I believe it was AJ Brown on the Tennessee Titans. He was a breakout receiver this year, and then he's got Derrick Henry in the backfield. I mean, shoot, like they'd be set. They already have a solid line. It's like, man, he'd be in a perfect place, which sucks to admit because I was hoping for him to come to the Chargers, but
and the coach played with the Patriots during
that's true. Vrabel, he's off the Belichick branch.
That's why I didn't know about his children and looking for schools for his children out there. I think it's happening.
Yeah, now it does seem more and more, which sucks because now the Chargers and I can't tell you how many years, Luke, I've been saying this. Me and my dad both have been saying since Rivers was like 35, 34, we need to have a good solid backup underneath him because when the time comes, we need to be able to transition. And the Chiefs did it with Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be set for the next freaking 15, 20 years with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback. We have nothing. We have nothing. We have Tyrod Taylor on our bench, but it's like he got sent away from the Bills, so it's like he wasn't a good enough quarterback to start there or keep his starting position as a quarterback in any franchise. And now it's like we don't have anyone on the bench to come up after Rivers and be like, yeah, I totally got this. Put the team on my back. I can carry us to the Super Bowl or again carry us into the playoffs at least. And just like now we have to draft a quarterback fresh out of college and hope that he can try to make do. But it's like,
yeah, we're in for an awkward few seasons.
It's gonna
get really bad.
It was bad before when we still had Rivers as a quarterback. It's gonna get awful.
It's gonna get really bad. But hey, new stadium.
Yay. Whoop-de friggin' do. Because it's like, that's the other thing, too. I guarantee you the Tennessee Titans could probably offer Brady a lot more money than the Chargers could. Because the Chargers have never been known to spend a lot of money on their players.
Brady, you grew up here. Just come back.
Yeah, he's from California, so that's the only thing we can try to, bargain with him. Come back to your home state kind of thing. But
in a brand new stadium.
Yeah. Then that's going to be the only benefit for us is that it would sell a lot of tickets. But it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But I think that's the end of our podcast, episode 24. That's a wrap for us here at the studio.
I hope the Super Bowl was good.
Yes, we hope
Were
it
the
was.
Simpsons right?
Hopefully it was not a freaking Rams and Patriots Super Bowl because that was garbage. 10-13 was awful. I don't care what anyone says. That Super Bowl sucked. I should have gone to an amusement park because I know it's supposed to be empty on those days. But anyway,
you can't call yourself a football fan if you go to an amusement park on a Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm just saying, in hindsight, if I knew that was going to be the outcome of the game and it was going to be that boring,
I still would have watched it.
Nah, hell no. I would have gone, man.
I will not miss a Super Bowl.
If me knowing now that was the Super Bowl that I was going to have to watch and endure, I would have been gone.
I will not miss a Super Bowl if it's within my power.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, that's it for us here at the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and hope to hear from you guys next week.
See ya.
Later.